Whew. I know you weren't expecting that one. But the results came out. America has decided that the winner of the 2024 presidential election is... I'm telling you, I only had about 3.5 hours of sleep last night, but I had to get up early to put this one out for you before I go off to work. There were so many concerns that we wouldn't have the results last night. Even I thought this would drag on for a while because they're going to have to do the early votes. No, we got the results last night and they were clear. Donald Trump winning in almost every battleground state last night. There were fears of a January 6th again. There were fears of a contested election. We don't have to worry about that because Trump won the election. This is historic. We're talking about a man who was impeached twice as the president. He got voted out of office. He faced several indictments and legal challenges over the past 4 years. He was isolated from the Republican Party. People at one point were saying Ron DeSantis would be the future of the Republican Party. But Trump managed to get his coalition back. All right, so let's really talk about this. How did Trump pull off his victory last night? Well, if you watched my last video, you would have heard me say that his easiest path to victory would come from Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. If he wins those 3 states, that's his easiest path to victory. So Trump is trending to win Georgia, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. And then we said Kamala Harris's easiest path to victory would come from Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, the so-called blue wall. Well, right now it seems like Trump not only took the 3 states that he needed, but he's also trending up in Wisconsin. That vote is at 49% to 48%. And he's also trending up in Michigan. The vote is at 50% Trump to 48% Harris. So Trump snatched all of his states and all of the battleground states that Kamala needed to win. The only 2 states that are still in play right now are Arizona and Nevada. Arizona is trending towards Trump, 52%. Nevada is trending towards Trump, 51% to Kamala's 47%. So, based on the map, I think it's safe to say at this point that Kamala Harris has lost every battleground state that she needed to win. Trump is ahead in all of them. Let's also go back and take a look at before we do that, 277 to 224. You need 270 to win. We're taking a look at the popular vote. 71 million Trump to 66 million Kamala Harris so far. I know all of the votes are not in, but if we go back to 2020, we see Biden 81 million, Trump 74 million. Going back to today's number, Trump 71 million, Kamala Harris 66 million. So all of the votes have not been counted yet, but so far it looks like Harris has underperformed Biden by a lot. And take a look at some of the states that Trump flipped, because this is the 2020 map. Trump flipped Georgia. Biden had Georgia in 2020. Trump flipped it this time. Biden had that blue wall. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Trump flipped all of that this time. Biden flipped Arizona. Trump did that this time. And Florida, we expected that to go Republican in this election, but there were some counties that did somewhat surprise experts, such as Miami-Dade County is trending towards Trump, 55% to 44%. Biden carried it the last time. Tampa, Hillsborough County, Biden carried it the last time. It is now 51% Trump to 48% Harris. Let's go all the way up to Jacksonville. Biden carried that the last time, 50% to 49%. So some of the bigger population centers, Trump was able to flip within the state of Florida. Palm Beach County, which has always been the source of controversy in elections, Harris barely managed to get it, 49.9% to Trump's 42%. So it's interesting to see that breakdown in some of the battleground states. Also take a look at the balance of power. You need 50 seats for a majority, or 51 seats, I should say. Google is saying 50. Right now, Republicans have 52 seats. Democrats have 42 seats in the Senate. They lost 3 seats last night. This is going to be all important because if Trump wants to get legislation passed, it's going to be critical for him to have control of the Senate. The House is still in play. Democrats are still fighting to keep control of the House. But right now, the Republicans are up 198 to the Democrats 180. So these are going to be critical coming forward. And then let's look at how the governorships are looking. 27 GOP right now to 23 Democrats. Out of 50 states, Republicans have more governors right now. So it's looking like early signs of a red wave in this election. All these things could flip in the midterms, given how Trump performs in his first 2 years. But this is a good night to be a Republican. And what makes this victory all the more interesting is because there were so many talks about the end of democracy and Project 2025 and abortion rights being on the chopping block and control of the Supreme Court. None of that was enough to scare voters away from voting for Donald Trump. So the next 4 years are going to be interesting. Trump goes into the White House. He could appoint more Supreme Court justices. He has control of the Senate right now. This could flip during the midterms, but he has control of the Senate. And let's say if GOP keeps control of the House, then Trump could be in a position to enact legislation that he wants in an unchecked manner. And this is the part that's going to concern Democrats. If the Senate and the House are controlled by Republicans, and the Supreme Court has a Republican supermajority, thanks to Trump appointees and other justices who sway in Trump's favor, what legal checks and balances will there be on Donald Trump's agenda? That's going to be a big concern for liberals. Now, there will be much talk about how Kamala lost this election. Why did things go this way? What demographic groups helped sway Trump? I think young men are going to be the key target when we talk about which demographic groups help sway this thing towards Trump. We'll talk about all of that in the days to come. But for now, I got to get to work. So this is Zion the Lion for Channel Z. America has decided, and Donald Trump is their choice for 2K24.